So very good morning to all the students of plus 2C as well as plus 2A. So today we have combined class, but same topic is going on in both the classes. That is very important chapter, Indigo. Fine. Set in pre-independence era, and we will be getting the glimpses of Gandhiji in this, how he set the base for independent India. So this Champaran movement is very important. This movement started in 1917, and you all know the introduction has been given to you already in 2 lectures. I have shown you the video also. So let's continue from this. I would be making you understand these value points. These value points, beta, you need to note down because they will help you to understand the chapter. I have written one quote. The secret of success is constancy of purpose. If anyone can tell me the meaning to this, kindly raise your hand. Yes? Anyone? Nobody knows the meaning of this quote, class plus 2, come on. Plus 2A. Raise your hand, I would unmute you, otherwise I would be naming the person. No one knows out of 45 students. Kanubha, can you tell beta? Kanubha Sharma.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, beta, what is the meaning of this quotation? Anything, whatever you feel like. But the secret of success is constancy of purpose. What does it mean?
That we can reach to the success if we are consistent in anything.
Yes. Fine. Yeah. So this quote means when you want to achieve success, you have to put in constant efforts. Fine. And you should be able to see your purpose clearly. Without purpose, in which direction you are putting efforts, wavered efforts will lead you to no destination. Fine, you should know your destination very well. You should know your purpose and you should put in your efforts constantly. Fine, it's not that one day you are putting in efforts, on the other day you are sitting and you are expecting results. Fine. And why I'm just asking the meaning of this quote, as daily basis I say I write the quote which is apt on the chapter. Fine. Gandhiji and Rajkumar Shukla both put in constant efforts, fine, to get rid of that sharecropping arrangement, and how they will be successful in this, that we will be reading. So the points which I'm going to cover today: Gandhi chided the lawyers for collecting higher fee. First point. Chided means to scold someone, fine. So he started scolding, you can say, lawyers for collecting higher amount from the innocent peasants. This point we will be covering. Sharecropping arrangement. Mark this. This arrangement is the most important topic of the whole chapter. Fine. Why? Because on this base only the whole chapter is revolving. Why Gandhiji came to Champaran, why Rajkumar Shukla went to meet Gandhiji, and this was the reason. Fine, that's why this is the center of attraction. Sharecropping arrangement. You know all the sharecroppers, peasants and farmers. So how they were forced to grow commercial crop indigo on 15% of their holdings. Fine. That not only this, after growing indigo, that commercial crop, they have to give the production of that crop as rent to the Britishers. Fine. So if you get this question, what is the sharecropping arrangement? In this, landlords were forcing the peasants to plant 15% holdings with indigo and surrender entire crop as rent to them. So this is the sharecropping arrangement, which was obviously not in favor of peasants. That's why Rajkumar Shukla went to meet Gandhiji. Fine, and that's why Gandhiji came. Then when this thing happened, not only this, one part is hidden, which I have not written here. What was that part? When Germany started producing synthetic indigo at cheaper prices, then at that moment they started, the instructions changed. Otherwise, Britishers were forcing the Indian peasants to grow indigo on 15% land. But when they started, importing indigo from Germany, which was quite cheaper, they thought we should compensate Indian farmers for this, that you wasted our time, fine, and efforts, that now you will be, wasting the 15% holdings upon which you are growing indigo, and even we don't need the harvest from you people now. We would be importing it from Germany. So that's why you have to compensate for that also. There was no need for compensation. Firstly, there was no need to force someone to grow indigo. Secondly, if they were forcing them also or getting the production, they were compensating them also, because they were going to get cheaper indigo from Germany. So means from all the sides, Britishers were befooling the common innocent Indian peasant. Fine. So this is the sharecropping arrangement. Now Gandhi at this point visited Champaran. Fine. Now he visited, firstly, the visit was not a casual visit that he was just visiting here and there. He wanted to make it a very formal visit. Firstly, he visited Secretary of British Landlord Association. Fine. He wanted to ask that why this thing is happening, why Indian peasants are being suppressed. He wanted to, go further on the legal basis. He was asking for the documents and asking for the rights. So British Landlord Association, he went. When there was no, you can say, output of that meeting, then Gandhiji met British Commissioner. Fine. So this hierarchy you should remember. Firstly, Gandhi visited Champaran and he met British, you can say, Landlord Association, Secretary of British Landlord Association, BLA. Fine. Then after that, he met British Commissioner also. And then after meeting the higher officials, they started thinking that who's this man who's having the knowledge and raising the voice of for these peasants. We should ask this lean and thin man to quit Champaran. So they gave a notice to Gandhiji. Gandhiji got legal notice to quit Champaran. Now, this is again very important concept. From here onwards, the movement actually started. Still students are joining, see. So, Gandhiji got the legal notice from higher authorities of Britishers that you need to quit this Champaran, because he was, actively participating in this fight of right. Then a crowd of peasants. In between, one more incident is there that I won't be disclosing. One of the peasants was beaten like anything. And when Gandhiji got to know that without any reason, Britishers are beating one of the, you can say, peasants, he went there, he reached there, and that was a mass gathering. And now that then he got this notice, right? After that, that incident we will be reading. Then crowd. Now in the crowd, how many? 1, 2, 300? No, thousands, I must say. Thousands of peasants, they gathered together and they came to help Gandhiji. How they helped means they were standing outside the courts. They gathered in a flock, you can say in a group, that when Gandhiji was being called or summoned by British officials. Fine. So they were there and Britishers were, last point I have written, Britishers felt powerless at this point. Fine. And which theme is apt on the last point? I discussed yesterday also. There is strength in unity. United we stand, divided we fall. Clear? If we are together, nobody can break us, nobody can shake us. But if we are standing all alone, anybody can come and do anything to us. So when all the peasants, they were earlier, they were unaware. Fine, they were not having any leader. So what is the main theme of this chapter? True leadership qualities can take you long way, which is set by Gandhiji and Rajkumar Shukla. Rajkumar Shukla is also one of the leaders. He raised voice. He raised this concept that we should be aware. Then Gandhiji portrayed truly, formally, officially all the qualities. Fine. And then Britishers felt powerless at this point. All the points are clear to everyone. Yes, send me thumbs up quickly. Better send me thumbs up quickly if all the points are clear to you. 47 students are here and I want quick response. Yes, Lakshit is there, Saksham, Aditya, Sukhman, Suhani, Rana, Gurjeet, Chandan, Manviya Sahni, Rohan Bhardwaj, Sia Chug. Why I'm speaking the names because I'm checking also those who are listening. Are you sitting over there because you don't switch on your videos? Jagraj is there, Anmol, Prachi, Prabnoor, Samyak Jain. Fine. So now I would be sharing the screen, beta, and we would be continuing the chapter. If any doubt is there, you can ask me. You can write in the chat box and I'll continue with that. If anybody wants the link of that video, I would be sharing later on. Fine, because we have already seen that video yesterday. I won't be repeating it again. Yes, we were on this page. Plus 2A, are you getting it? If any problem is there, you can send me in the chat box better. Because I don't know how far you have read. Now, in short, I have told you that how Rajkumar Shukla, a aware peasant, he met Gandhiji and he called Gandhiji to his district, Champaran, where Britishers were ruling before independence, obviously, and they were befooling Indian peasants and they were forcing them to grow indigo on 15% of their holdings. Fine. Yes, from page number 48 onwards, we have read Gandhiji chided the lawyers for collecting big fee from the sharecroppers. He said, I have come to the conclusion that we should stop going to law courts. Taking such cases to the courts does little good. Where the peasants are so crushed and fear-stricken, law courts are useless. The real relief for them is to be free from fear. Underline, this is the theme. Also, a true leader is that leader who is not thinking about himself only, who thinks about others also. So here, Gandhiji is saying that real relief for them is to be free from fear. Now, though it started with Rajkumar Shukla's meeting with Gandhiji, but Gandhiji took it to another level. He says, why did this happen? Because people are fear-stricken. People are scared of the British people. And I want them to be fearless, confident, aware. So this struggle will go further to make them free from fear, not till only sharecropping arrangement. It started for sharecropping arrangement, but it will go further. Most of the arable land. Now, what do you mean by arable land? The fertile land. Most of the arable land in the Champaran district was divided into large estates owned by Englishmen and worked by Indian tenants. So this was the scene. Most of the fertile land, good land was owned by Englishmen and worked by Indian tenants. You know, that's why we call them sharecroppers. Fine, they were paying rent for using the land. That's why we are calling them sharecroppers. Okay. The landlords compelled all tenants to plant 3/20ths. Beta 3/20ths or 15%. Underline this. This data you have to remember. The landlords. Who are the landlords now? The land was owned by Englishmen only. So they are the landlords. They compelled all the tenants. Who are the tenants? Indian peasants, Indian sharecroppers of their holdings with indigo and surrender the entire indigo harvest as rent. I already told you this was the sharecropping arrangement. This was done by long-term contract and they forced them to do this contract. Most of the peasants were illiterate. So they were just giving their thumb impression only. They were not able to write and read. Fine, they were illiterate. So they were giving their thumb impressions on the contract. Presently, the landlords learned that. Now, what happened after that contract was done? The landlords, the Englishmen, they learned that Germany had developed synthetic indigo. They thereupon obtained agreements from the sharecroppers to pay them compensation for being released from the 15% arrangement. So see, this is the case where they were literally befooling the innocent peasants of India. They were saying, okay, now you won't be, there will be no need of that 15% holdings where indigo is being grown by you. We will be getting directly from Germany that synthetic indigo, that dye, that blue color dye is extracted from that plant. Fine. So sharecropping arrangement was irksome. Irksome here means, beta, it is quite tedious. Irksome here means tedious, difficult, annoying also to the peasants. So peasants were not able to understand because they were illiterate. It was quite tedious for them to understand it, and many signed willingly. So most of them, they were signing, or you can say giving their consent willingly. Those who resisted, fine, there were some farmers, there were some sharecroppers who said, no, we won't be, we do not agree to this contract. They engaged lawyers. They wanted to hire lawyers, just like Rajkumar Shukla. There were some people, but for them, there was another way out. What did this Englishmen do? They hired thugs. Now, what do you mean by thugs here? In this context, landlords went to next level to torture these Indian peasants. Those who were raising voice, they were even being assassinated. They were being killed also. So they hired thugs for them, that whosoever will be raising the voice, we would be killing them only. Meanwhile, the information about synthetic indigo reached the illiterate peasants who had signed and they wanted their money back. So they say, if you will be getting the synthetic indigo from Germany and you have taken our money also, our part also, and we want it back. We don't want to grow indigo on 15% of holdings. At this point, Gandhiji arrived in Champaran. Underline this. This was the point when that heat was felt, fine, when fire was burning high. And that point, Gandhi arrived in Champaran. He began by trying to get the facts. As I already told you, being a lawyer, he wanted to proceed legally. So what happened? Gandhiji began to collect facts only. He visited Secretary of British Landlord Association. I already told you. Now, what secretary told him? This is to be read. The secretary told him that they could give no information to an outsider. This was the answer given to Gandhiji, that you are an outsider. Who are you? He said, the secretary said, who are you, Gandhi? That to whom we are not, we are not supposed to give any information to you. Gandhi answered that he was no outsider. So Gandhiji could not get any output out of this conversation. He went to British official commissioner of the Tirhut division, in which the Champaran district lay. So you know that divisions are there of various divisions are divided of various districts. So Tirhut division ke under aata tha Champaran district. The commissioner, Gandhi reports, the commissioner proceeded to bully me and advised me forthwith to leave Tirhut. Next, commissioner was also very bad. The way he treated Gandhiji, he started bullying Gandhiji. Fine. He abused Gandhiji and he said that you are supposed to leave Tirhut division immediately. Quit Champaran. Legal notice was given to Gandhiji. Gandhi did not leave. Instead, he proceeded to Motihari, the capital of Champaran. He said, okay, if you are asking me to leave Champaran, I will move to Motihari. That is the capital of Champaran. Several lawyers accompanied him. By now, this movement was, getting bigger and bigger, and many people were joining. Many lawyers accompanied Gandhiji. At the railway station, a vast multitude, greeted Gandhi. He went to a house and using it as headquarters, continued his investigations. A report came in that a peasant had been maltreated in a nearby village. Gandhi decided to go and see. The next morning, he started out on the back of an elephant. So in between, a report came that one of the peasants had been mistreated by Britishers. So Gandhiji wanted to see that peasant. Fine. And when he was going there, because those days transport system was like animals were also being used. So he started on the back of an elephant. He had not proceeded far when the police superintendent messenger overtook him and ordered him to return to town in his carriage. Gandhi complied. Gandhi said no. Messenger drove Gandhi home where he served him with an official notice to quit Champaran immediately. So when he was going to see that ill-treated peasant, and on the way, he got that notice, Gandhi signed a receipt for the notice and wrote on it that he disobeyed the order. Fine. So rather than accepting that legal notice, he said that I disobey you people. Fine. If it is clear to every one of you, send me thumbs up quickly. Lakshit, Suhani, Aditya, Saksham, Kanubha, Chandan, very good. So I just want to ask one question only now. And I want to see those who are attentive listeners. You need not get scared while giving answers. Okay, tell me, what was the sharecropping arrangement? Just raise hand, beta. What was the sharecropping arrangement decided by British landlords? Shall I announce the name? Who will answer this? Or beta, you should also participate. Class +2 student, the senior most students are not speaking. That doesn't look nice. Come on. Gunjot Wadia, if you would like to speak. What was the sharecropping arrangement? Amarpreet, +2C. What was the sharecropping arrangement? Very easy question I'm asking. Yes.
Hello, good evening, ma'am.
Yes, Amarpreet, can you tell me what was the sharecropping arrangement, beta?
Sharecropping arrangement was plant 15% holding with indigo and surrender entire crops as well.
It is written on the board itself. Fine. So you should know at least that what was the sharecropping arrangement. Okay. Now tell me, whom did Gandhiji visit after coming to Champaran? Whom did Gandhiji visit after coming to Champaran? Yes. Anybody from? Yes. Aditya, you can speak, beta.
Executives of Champaran.
Can you speak loudly, beta?
Executives of Champaran district.
Executives of Champaran district. It is written beta on the board itself. Firstly, the secretary, and then commissioner. Fine. You have to tell the designations only, though they are executives, you know, but you have to be very, very particular about it. Okay, beta. So we are not left much time, but let's see. 2-3 minutes are there, 3 to 4 minutes. So we would be continuing. Okay. So what happened when Gandhiji received this, you can say that legal notice, official notice, he said, I disobey your order. He signed a receipt because he was a lawyer. He knew the legal way to say no. There are two ways. One way is being very harsh and start abusing others and start fighting with others. But Gandhiji was a very, patient persona. He was having patience enough. And moreover, he was very educated. He was a lawyer himself. So he signed a receipt for the notice and wrote on it that he would disobey. Suppose if any other peasant would have received that order, he would have, left that place at that time only, because he might not be knowing the meaning to it. But Gandhiji knew he can sign a receipt. So in consequence, Gandhiji received summons to appear in court the next day. So what was there? This is what Gandhi wanted actually, that they should call me, they should summon me. He signed a receipt. So as per the response to that receipt, if a person disobeys any order, he would be called to courts only. So Gandhiji's work was going great. All night Gandhi remained awake. He telegraphed Rajendra Prasad. You know that Rajendra Prasad, the first president of India. At that time, he was not president, but yes, he was one of the influential leaders. So he telegraphed Rajendra Prasad to come from Bihar with influential friends. Who are the influential friends who can, help them in this movement? He sent instructions to the ashram. He wired a full report to the viceroy. So next day he has to go there. But before going, Gandhiji informed everyone that he's being summoned in the courts for disobeying the, you can say, legal notice. So by the time every peasant of Motihari, every peasant of Champaran or the adjoining districts, they got to know about this. Morning found the town of Motihari black with peasants. Means everywhere thousands of peasants joined. They did not know Gandhi's record in South Africa. They were not knowing that Gandhiji was already a famous leader in South Africa. They had merely heard that a Mahatma who wanted to help them was in trouble with the authorities. Why these people gathered? Otherwise, they were not even standing for their rights. But now they were there. Why? Because they saw that one lean, thin man who has nothing to do with us, even then he is raising voice for our rights, we should go and support him. Their spontaneous demonstration in thousands around the courthouse was the beginning of the liberation from fear of the British. So Gandhi wanted this thing only. He wanted people to be united, number one. He wanted people to be fearless, number two. He wanted them to stand for their rights. So this is the time when people got wake-up call actually. Fine, and they were together. So we would be continuing tomorrow. Okay, bell has gone. So if any doubt is there, you can ask me in the chat box. Is it clear to every one of you? Okay, beta, have a nice day.